So wholesale is actually a very, very simple business, right? When you're selling on Amazon and you're doing the wholesale model, on paper, it looks very, very simple. We're buying from brands, distributors and wholesalers all around the world and selling their stock on Amazon. Sounds simple, right? But why do people fail and struggle to make it work? So that's what we're going to cover in this video. And I'm going to go through literally the three main reasons I see that people fail and break down how we can actually prevent making these mistakes, or any of you can prevent making these mistakes in the future. First of all is that they don't understand the importance of relationships with suppliers. They don't understand that suppliers, when it comes to wholesale, is literally the most important thing, and the relationships that you have with them. You need to understand that your relationships with your suppliers will make or break your Amazon business. Will make or break your wholesale business more specifically. Now, why is that? Because these are the cogs within your business that are going to be able to give you products and prices which other people are not able to get. Now, let me repeat that. It's your suppliers that will be able to give you products and prices that other people aren't able to get. So what does that mean for us? That means basically as an Amazon seller, you'll be able to get products at prices which other people aren't able to get, which means what? Sustainability and longevity for our business. Now that is why people start wholesale. People start wholesale is because they want something that will last them for the long term, last them the test of time, right? They want to be running a wholesale business and scale a business for upwards of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and so on. They don't want it to be get in and get out like most RA products are. They want obviously their wholesale stock to be let's get in with the intention of staying in, and it's your relationships with your suppliers that does this. People forget that and they completely neglect supplier relationships, because let's not forget, with supplier relationships we can ask suppliers to source stock in for us. Simple phone call: hi, are you able to get stock XYZ in for us? Obviously other sellers are not going to do that, so you'll get access to that stock. And B, once you've got a better relationship with your suppliers, you can then start to work together with pricing and get prices other people can't get. What does that mean for us? We are going to be able to jump on listings again other people won't be able to jump on. So that's the first reason why a lot of people fail when it comes to doing wholesale. Now the second one is the suppliers which that they are essentially trying to work with, they're not the right sorts of suppliers. That's simply put, right? Because touching back onto point one, when it comes to developing relationships with suppliers, there's some suppliers where it's literally pointless developing relationships with them. For example, all these suppliers which you're seeing staring in everyone's faces on Google. Now why is that? Because these suppliers have so much saturation, you are not going to get anywhere working with these guys, because there's so many people contacting them. They're just so readily available on Google. It's just not going to work. And I promise you, even if you contact all these suppliers, which are so easily accessible, and get access to their pricing, I promise there's going to be no profitable products, just because I can't even guess how many other sellers have gone through these wholesale companies and their stock lists. And B, even if there is profits there, I would not recommend buying from these suppliers, just because of how easily accessible they are. And anyone can just jump on your storefront, literally type in Dove Wholesale UK if you're stocking Dove stock, and your storefront's finished. Basically all your listings are finished, because that's what's going to happen with all these suppliers that you're buying from, which are on Google. If it's profitable now, I promise you in a month's time it's not going to be profitable, and then again you're stuck in that rut of having stock which is not lasting you the test of time. So that's the second issue, where it's like, okay, how are we finding our suppliers? The suppliers that we're actually reaching out to aren't going to work, because A, we can't develop relationships with them, and B, they're just way too saturated. All the products are not profitable, and even if they are, they tank. So for example, a lot of the sellers I talk to, what's your biggest struggle within your wholesale business? And what they say to me is, look, the biggest struggle within the wholesale business is the listings keep tanking. And I'm like, okay, then that shouldn't be the case when you're doing it correctly. How do you source? We just contact suppliers which we find on Google, which are readily available there for us. Then I'm just said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because if you're contacting suppliers which everyone has access to, which you can't develop relationships with, which can't separate you from the rest, you are just going to end up in a flooded, saturated market. However, with that being said, wholesale is so unsaturated when you know what you're doing. But obviously, 99% of people don't know what they're doing. So like I said, point one, which is people fail to realize the importance of relationships. Point two is people fail to realize that the suppliers that they're contacting are never going to work for them. So you've got to develop ways and strategies to find suppliers other people won't find, and find suppliers that will actually make you money, which don't care about being on Google, which have been in the game of B2B for 30, 40 years, way before like trying to get a high ranking on Google was even a thing, right? And thirdly, another reason why a lot of people fail when it comes to doing wholesale is that they don't actually understand the business. As simple as that sounds, it's so true. They don't understand the business. They don't understand where they are within the supply chain. They don't understand what sort of value that they could offer suppliers. So the whole point of running a business is, okay, we can trade. Obviously, for this is a product business, right? We are selling stock. So how are we able to offer value to A, our customers, and B, the companies which we're procuring stock from? So obviously we're able to offer value to our customers selling on Amazon because obviously they get quick shipping, they get stock literally next day, right? They get products at very low prices, obviously, which is what Amazon's renowned for, and obviously what the buy box is literally based on shipping time and your cost of, well, whatever your sell price is basically. So that's how we're offering value on that, the Amazon side of things. How are we offering value on the other side of things? A lot of people just don't know. They don't know how to position themselves when they're going out reaching to wholesalers, distributors and brands, which is so important because, like I've said, the wholesale supply which you're reaching out to is one of the most, well, it is probably the most important cog within the business, your suppliers with which you're working with. But when you don't actually know what your business does and how you can offer them value and how you can work together in a relationship. Like for example, a lot of sellers that I know that do wholesale will just lie to their wholesaler saying, look, we don't sell on Amazon. Well, hang on a second, you can't say that because you do. And then ask people, why don't you tell them why don't you tell them that you sell on Amazon? And they'll just say to me, look, because then they'll reject us. Okay, you gotta dig deeper into that. There's so many things which you can do to open up accounts with these suppliers. Because what you've got to think is, if we can open up an account with a supplier which typically rejects Amazon sellers, we've got to think, okay, we can make a shit ton of money with a supplier like that. With a supplier that typically rejects Amazon sellers, we can make so much money. Because imagine that, you've got now access to pricing no other Amazon seller will get. Now, why do people not know how to open up accounts with these companies that typically reject Amazon sellers? It's simple, because they don't understand the value that they could bring to a wholesale company that has that view. They don't understand where they are within the supply chain and what advantages that they could bring to a wholesale company like that. And that's literally it. And why don't they understand the advantages? Like I've said, because they don't actually know what their business does. You got people lying to sales reps saying that they supply brick and mortar stores. No, you don't. You sell on Amazon. Embrace it. Be honest. Be transparent with your suppliers, and understand that A, what your business does, and B, what the ethos of your business is. And that is what these suppliers care about. They care about, okay, what does this company do? Okay, they sell on Amazon. What's their ethos? Okay, do they want to trade with us over the long term? How do they view business? How are they going to view our relationship? Do they want to purchase stock monthly, quarterly, yearly? How do they run? So once you know and nail down exactly what your business does, how you can offer suppliers value, what your ethos is, then you are going to be in the best position to go in and get accounts open with these suppliers. Suppliers that will typically even reject Amazon sellers. But if you know exactly what your business does, what value you can offer to these guys, and literally just be transparent with them, I promise you, you will see much higher success rate in your account opening. Especially when you see half of these buffoons contacting suppliers where it's like, yeah, we supply brick and mortar stores. Okay, where are we delivering to residential address? And it's just like, if I ran one of these huge, massive distribution companies that supplies, let's say, cash and carries and supplies big wholesalers, obviously I would not want to open up an account with a company like that. It's all about how you present yourself to these companies, and how can we best present ourselves is by having a full-on understanding about what our business actually does on a transparent level and what value we can offer companies which we want to work with. And that's what a lot of people fail to even grasp, which is obviously, that's very bad. If you don't know the value you can offer to other companies that you need, like we need these companies, we need suppliers to make money on Amazon. And if you don't know what value you can offer them, if you don't know how to get into the door or in the door with suppliers that will make you these long-term consistent profits, then you're never going to actually make a sustainable income on Amazon, and people fail to realize that. But yeah, thank you very much. There you go, mate. Absolutely shagged that ending, but yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much for watching. Any video recommendations, drop them down below. Obviously, as you can see, this video is not edited because, like, why do I need to edit it? It's literally a one-take thing. But yeah, any videos you guys want to see, let me know. Comment down below. Subscribe if you want to obviously keep watching videos, which you should do if you want to grow your Amazon business. I'd highly recommend it, because you are not going to see any information like this anywhere else on YouTube, because everyone else doesn't know what they're doing. Or most people don't know what they're doing. Sorry, there are people that do. But yeah, you'll get what I'm saying as you start to see the videos that start coming through, and you see the value which I'm going to share for everyone. Why am I doing it? Because I think it's quite fun. Why not? But yeah, hope everyone subscribe, drops a like, comment, you know, all that stuff that the YouTubers say.